All right, so the question here says, good morning, Pastor. Is it right for a woman to open a WhatsApp for someone she has been friends with since 8 years? He said, if I don't open my WhatsApp when he asked me to do so, no marriage. Wow. Let me start with saying this borders on transparency, right? In relationship, I guess. Okay, so let me first of all state the general rule, because I think that's the way it is done in academics. The general rule is stated and the exceptions or the particularities are then dealt into. Now, the general rule when it comes to transparency in marriage, in relationship, both of them, is the fact that transparency does not mean 100% disclosure. It means 0% falsehood. Let me state it in other words. Transparency is not necessarily absolute disclosure, but it means zero falsehood. That is to say, even in a marriage, let alone a relationship, even in a marriage, you are not obligated to tell your spouse everything. That is not anybody that says that you must tell your spouse everything. Is the person? I'm not sure the person knows what he's talking about. There are certain things you tell your spouse that will be the end of that marriage. Yes. So you are not obligated to tell your spouse everything. However, if your spouse finds out some things and confronts you or asks you about them, then you shouldn't lie about it. All right. And then there will be some things people will tell you that you are supposed to protect them about. They protect their confidence. You don't have to, you shouldn't go and start telling your spouse those ones. Do you understand? So that's the general rule. But now let me narrow it down to the scenario that was painted here. All right, you're in a relationship, that's to say you are not even married, and the person is demanding that you should show him your WhatsApp message or messages. Otherwise, people will not get married. First of all, I want you to know that reeks of an impression on the part of the person that he's doing you a favor marrying you. That is the number one sign of toxicity. You are in a toxic relationship. Anybody that acts like he or she is doing you a favor by marrying you is a toxic person, and that relationship is toxic. So you are just headed into disaster. That is number one. Number two, yes, you should not, you should not, in a relationship, I wouldn't expect that you should be hiding or passwording and locking those things. You should not do that. All right. You should not lock up your phones or your apps from your intended. However, that person also should not be nosy, should not be poke nosing like a dog sniffing for cocaine at the airport. Looking for what? It's a different thing if maybe there's a genuine need for him to use your phone, maybe to just make a call, and then a message drops in and he sees it's a different thing. But just poke nosing, no, it's a wrong thing. It's a totally wrong thing. And then I think you should backtrack. Bye.